welcome back to The Loop, a bold and fresh look at our lives here in Kenya. And we have a panel of amazing dads here. And we know you've got so many amazing dads out there as well. You're probably one of them. And we want to celebrate you and your special bond with your daughter. So keep sending in those pictures to our WhatsApp line, which is on the camera right now, or rather on the screen. And we'll celebrate those pictures. Some amazing, beautiful moments that we have been able to sample here. We want to sample yours as well. Okay, so we've got an amazing panel here. And I think this interview needs to go on for like 5 hours.
Right.
But it's so impactful. But my question is to Pastor S. What about those girls who are growing up without a male figure in the home? Maybe the dad died, or the dad just absconded, or it's just not there. Where do they seek that kind of affirmation? Where do they seek that kind of male mentorship in their lives?
Yeah, I think that's very crucial, especially for single moms, because we've had a lot of conversations with them. And their daughters begin to look for that masculine affirmation. And so if they don't find it at home, and this is why I tell the dads, please be engaged. You could be home, but the lights are on, but you're not home.
Yes.
You need to be engaged. You need to speak. You need to talk with them. Passivity can crush your daughter very badly. But this is what happens. A lot of them eventually, and I'm dealing with a lady right now who is 17, and she's already dating people in their 30s. And it's very crazy. And I asked her, why are you doing this? Because the mama asked me to ask her. And she said, because I'm looking for daddy. Daddy left me, so I see these big men, and they like me, and they give me some money, so I'm willing to do anything for them. So they begin to look for that wherever they find, whether it's in their teachers.
And give up so much to get it.
Yeah, because you really need that. I mean, I went through that father hunger myself. When my dad died when I was 8. I mean, I was looking for that. But my music teacher in high school called me out and blessed me like a dad and gave me a hug. I wept for 2 hours. That's how much I missed that. Now, you can imagine a girl who is missing that, and
right.
A man comes and gives her a hug and says, I can buy you some things and help you in this. Of course, she's going to be swept off her feet.
Right.
And so I tell those mothers, make sure there's another, a brother who stands in, or a coach, or a gym instructor, someone safe that you believe in, a pastor, youth pastor, who begins to hang out with your son, with your daughter, among other people, so that you don't specialize if you're not the dad, and begin to speak into their lives, because they need that voice and they need to hear it.
So it's up to mothers to take an active role in choosing who this father figure is, so you can kind of supervise that relationship.
Yeah, and it's also up to those mothers to allow, because some of them say no to their biological dads who actually want to get involved, but because you had issues with them, you just said no. You see, you need to remember you may have issues with the man, but the child doesn't know that about the dad.
That's true.
So
they adore their father.
In a good arrangement, make sure the dad gets involved, because one day, I'm dealing with a lady who is in her late 40s, and she just met her dad 2 months ago for the first time ever. And you should have seen her. She was crying like a baby, calling me and said, can you imagine, I texted and said, Dad. And I wept just to see that text, that I could say, Dad. So the hunger never ends until someone else, begins to speak into that space.
Okay, you've set me up very nicely for a hard-hitting fact. I believe everyone has a dream for their children, for their families. I'd like to hear what is your particular dream, each of you, for your daughters. So Duncan, I think we'll start with you. What is your dream for your daughters?
Oh, for my daughters,
yes.
And if they're watching, let me say a big hi to Shiko, Wamboi, Wangari. Ultimately, I want my daughters to aspire to be who they are. And to discover who you are, I think, is one of the biggest challenges that's going to be there in this world. And so in the process of doing that, I'd like to encourage values within them, so things that they actually have control of, as opposed to complimenting, say, something outwardly. And they're gorgeous girls, they're beautiful girls. We do know that.
Yes.
But I'd want to be the kind of parent that compliments them on how they make a decision, on their kindness, on their discipline, on things that are internal, because values, they put value on what is complimented. And if you're comfortable with your inside, no matter what you are on the outside, you'll be fine. But being happy with what you are on the outside doesn't necessarily build you up on the inside. So what I want my daughters to be, it's just that. I mean, it sounds a bit generic, sounds aspire to
I
be
get
what you
it.
are.
You want them to aspire
But yes,
to
but
grow
also
the...
means then as a parent, I do not want to put them in a box. So I want them to experience what they can, figure out what they can, be there for them. But at the end of the day, it's going to be their life.
Okay.
And hopefully they'll be ready to take it by the reins.
Okay. Okay. Mongera, I'll come to you. What is your dream for your daughters?
So we have an acronym that we have in our home about what we want our kids to learn, and that's GDC, and that's godly, disciplined, and courteous. Oh. So godly is about the relationship with the father and how they grow spiritually, and we want to be a big part of that. The second is discipline, and discipline it's internal. It's not just about them doing what we ask or what we insist on, but it's them being able to control their urges and the things that would make them either not study or be lazy or something of the sort. Discipline is about practicing, having certain practices that force you to do what is right, whether you feel like it or not.
Okay.
Because that's a key discipline in life. That's a key skill in life. And then the other one is courteous. And courtesy is about how they treat other people. And we want them to be able to relate with people in a way that respects the status of the person you're talking to,
right? And
appreciates that we're not all equal. There's some people who are going to be ahead of you, some people are going to be more rich than you, some people are going to be poorer than you, but you have to have a level of courtesy in the way you treat other people.
Okay.
So that's what we hope for them.
Okay, and then Pastor S, I like that, GDC. I'll remember that. Pastor S, what
just to
what
mention,
is your
I've written
dream?
a little book here, that is Destiny, the Difference a Father Makes. Just talking about those P's of prophecy, priesthood, and all of that. But we do a program for ladies called EZA. And we wrote that definition of what it means to be a woman. And that's what I want my women, my daughters who are growing to be women to become. And those are 5 things very quick. Number 1 is to stand securely. I think an authentic woman stands securely. The greatest struggle of women is security in who they are. So I want my daughters to be secure in who they are, and affirmations only add to that. They don't sweep them off their feet. Number 2 is to walk in purity. And this is a kind of character and purity of spirit that is not manipulative, that is not about selfish and gaining things for herself, just walking in purity, being a woman of character. Mwanamke ni tabia. Thirdly is influencing graciously. I try and tell these girls you have immense power, even over men. You have immense power, but use that influence for good and be gracious. Make sure it blesses others. It doesn't destroy. So influence graciously. The next one is loves deeply but wisely. So I want them to be able to love, not to build walls around their heart, but to be able to love deeply, but after making the right choices. I think a lot of women choose bad, so they get wounded, so they build walls, so they don't experience true love. And so to love deeply and wisely. Lastly is to leave a worthwhile legacy. So I keep asking them, what do you want your name to be when you leave this world? So build a legacy, start now, and be that kind of woman who stands securely, walks in purity, influences graciously, loves wisely and deeply, leaves a worthwhile legacy.
Leaves a worthwhile legacy. Thank you so much, gentlemen. It is actually just amazing to meet men who have such visions for their family and to see all the pictures that you sent us tonight. Thank you so much. Tonight was about Girl Dads and my heart is so full. Michael, where are you? You've disappeared.
I'm here at the Tamu Bar, but I'm very, very encouraged by the fathers that we've had here in studio, and of course, by the fathers who have shared their special moments with their daughters. Keep sending those pictures. The WhatsApp number is still on the line there on the screen, and we'll continue celebrating them even throughout the week. We're about to go on a break, and when we come back for Unplugged, he is a film producer, he is a music producer, he is a writer, he is a musician, talented, super artist, Superstitious is with us on Unplugged. Don't go too far.